Hi everyone, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terence Scardino. The week begins on Monday, May the 18th. And this is an important week because by Friday, the 22nd, it's a new moon in Gemini, which resets our priorities and draws our attention to a different area of life. But the last week before the new moon on Friday, this is a winding down time from the last new moon, which would have been about 3 weeks ago from now. And or it's a time of closure, wrapping up, winding down. But the point is, overall, not a good week to be launching any major new projects if you can help it, because the energy is winding down and you don't want to start a job or a project where you want to be wound up to get it going. Now, on Monday, the moon will be in Aries. There's no other planetary events going on. Aries is fiery, it's initiative, it's take action. So there's certainly a lot of activity and restlessness. A good day for exercising, since Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is the athletic planet. On Tuesday, now the moon's still in Aries, but by midday it's going to be in a challenging aspect to Pluto. So there could be these intense emotions that's coming up, some power struggles with others, maybe more personal relationships. But then right after that, it hits Jupiter. And now whatever you were struggling with, now the Jupiter, you're feeling so much more hopeful and optimistic. As we go into Wednesday, now the moon has shifted into more calming, steady Taurus for a couple of days, and the sun has left Taurus and is moving into Gemini for the next 4 weeks. The Taurus energy is more grounding, steady, more security-oriented. Gemini overall is stimulating a lot of new ideas, this restlessness, wanting to be active, certainly wanting to talk. That's Gemini, to communicate, to network, to socialize. But Venus, sociable, loving, relational Venus, which has been retrograde since May the 13th through June the 25th, on Wednesday, the Venus is going to be in an exact square aspect to Neptune. A square is 90 degrees. It creates a lot of conflict. And I've talked about this before. Basically, this whole about the first 3 weeks, probably all of May, Venus is in Gemini. Venus is what we value. Gemini is information, and with Venus in retrograde, it seems like we're having to second guess and backtrack information that we're trying to gather. The problem is that it's being conflicted by Neptune, and this whole month it's in orb of influence. It's influencing that Venus all month, but on this Wednesday, it's particularly strong. And Neptune is all this foggy, nebulous, evasive energy. On one hand, for the general public, this means be very, very careful of misinformation, which is running rampant all over the internet, because the Venus in Gemini is seeking information, and the Neptune is false, confused, disappointing information. On a much more personal level, Venus is relationships. and especially a relationship you feel very close to, from a close friend to family to your significant other. And this is a time with that Venus testing retrograde, squaring Neptune. You have to make sure you're on the same page, and what you think you're hearing may be repeated to make sure you're on the same page. There might be some misunderstandings, some real disappointments within relationships, but those relationships are probably weak relationships. On Thursday, the moon is still in Taurus, stabilizing Taurus, but it's going to be in harmony with compassionate, idealistic Neptune in midday, and then a little bit later with powerful Pluto. Moon to Pluto, you can dig deep, you can do a lot of introspection, or you can have these heartfelt conversations with your close loved one to get to the truth of what might have been really starting to confuse you the day before. Which takes us to Friday, the 22nd, and it's the new moon. The new moon sets this new course, this new focus. It's in Gemini, so there's a lot of this curiosity and restlessness and learning. This new moon is going to be in harmony with pragmatic Saturn. So this is very good for overall, individually or economically, for the world markets to start to feel more stabilized, that is slowly business is coming back. Now, Mercury, also communication Mercury on Friday, however, is in a square conflicted aspect to Neptune. And so the Venus-Neptune, you're still feeling it. Now the Mercury to Neptune, but just on Friday, not the best day to be making important decisions. That's the Mercury, because conflicting with Neptune, you still might be getting a lot of misinformation, not having a lot of clarity. The new moon is trying to refocus us in some new directions, and with Saturn, we're going to get it real, get it solid, and feel more secure. But on Friday is just let the energy sit. And then Saturday, the moon, it continues in Gemini, the new moon in Gemini on Friday. So all this kind of restlessness to get out there and exchange ideas and network and connect with others. So in some ways, a good Saturday, even going into Sunday, for socializing. Before I sign off, I want to remind you I'm available for a one-question offer for a nominal fee. You can find a direct link to order it in the description box below the video. The time of birth is always important, even if you're saying, my mother said it was at supper time, or the sun was rising. So I want to thank you for watching. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, have a great week.